guys, welcome to a brand new week. I was just wrapping up editing my vlog. I'm just a little few things and then I can start exporting it. While I'm exporting, I'm gonna grab a shower because I can't sleep too late tonight because I am opening tomorrow. Which reminds me, as I'm seeing the background, I have to clean up my space a little bit because I do have cleaners coming tomorrow. So I want to make their job a little easier. When I say that, it makes me sound like I'm privileged and I'm rich. The service apartment cleaners that are part of their job, as I pay for the rent here, cleans the room. So yeah, I've mentioned this before. I like to make their job a little easier because I don't want them to second guess if they're allowed to touch my things. If there's nothing in the way, then there's no questions. Today was kind of a fun day. I was with my uncle today because we were looking at apartments. And areas, and we went to a specific area that was really not out of the way, but not many people live down there because it's kind of out of the way, but to me it's not that bad. So I went to the district. It was another service apartment, but it's a little more homey vibe, you know. It's a little better. It's a little cheaper than here, which makes sense because this area is so central, but it's only cheaper by a teeny tiny bit, so it's not really worth it. So we're checking out the areas, you know, a little quieter. There's not many people. It's not like a hub or anything, right? I did like it because even if it's quiet, there's still people. But I don't know what it's like at night, so we'll have to see. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty quiet because there's only one main street there, and that main street you can walk it within 10 minutes. It's not very long. So yeah. And then as we were leaving after checking out the service apartment, well, actually no, we grabbed lunch. We went to a wet market and we grabbed fresh seafood and we took it to a restaurant and then they prepared it for us at a cheap labor cost. It was so good. For a guy that doesn't like eating seafood, it was good. Like, it was fresh. We had like squid, steamed fish, shrimp. It was so good. So I didn't vlog it because I don't really vlog with my uncle around because he doesn't like being on camera. I don't want to push this on him. So, and then as we're walking back to this MTR station to get train back into, you know, this area, we saw some real estate service offices, and my uncle's like, you know what, let's check out the rent of this area because he's not too familiar with the area himself. So we're checking it, and it's some pretty affordable, and some of them are pretty new buildings. So we're like, James, why don't you just rent? We couldn't view any of the units because they weren't available to view, but if it's only 1 or 2 years old, it's still relatively new, so it can't be that bad. And the other units that were a little bit more expensive in the same building had pictures, so we saw those. So it was a good, like, a way for me to visualize what it would look like. It was a lot cheaper than this place and the place I saw today, service apartment down that area. So it is quite a possibility because the air is fine. So we got this information, and then we took the train. That's not the subway, the train, like big sky train. We took the train all the way up towards Satine area, where it's a really big residential area. There's lots of apartment blocks. You're just surrounded, and there's a beautiful like group of malls there that are like clumped together. So basically, those residential areas, those malls, most of those people that go there are just residential people. So it's more quiet. It was even more quiet than the area I first saw. I liked it a lot, and there was a real estate office there. My uncle, you know, chatted on, and we did view about 3 units. I was gonna vlog it, but I was like, these are not nice. They're about 30 to 40 years old. They were in good locations. The area is nice. It's a residential area. It's quiet. Even on the weekend, my uncle was like, oh, this is actually considered busy for this area. And I'm like, it's busy? It does not look busy. So that being said, I'm like, on weekdays, it must be dead silent. So that was very interesting. But the apartments that were available were pretty old, and the cost of it was almost the same as this unit, but so old. So I was like, the location is nice, but the problem is I'm just not vibing with it. Location vibe is great, but the apartment, I'm just not feeling it. You know when it's right for you when you walk in, you're like, this is a good apartment. I can see myself living here. I could not see myself living in those 2 apartments that we saw today. So sadly, I'm gonna pass on those 2. But no matter what district, the one in Satine or the one down south, they're both taking me about 20 to 30 minutes to get to work. So it's not that bad. Ooh, my toilet just made weird sounds. But if I get another job that's not in Causeway Bay and more like in the Satine area, because there's lots of malls there, then my transit, if I live down south, would be about 40 minutes instead. Because luckily there's now direct lines. Hong Kong has changed. So I'm pretty sure I'm leaning towards the area down south, despite it being out of the way. But in a way, I don't mind it being out of the way, because I want to be out of the city craziness, but also be in like a really good transit distance to all the craziness, like rushing crowds. So I think that location might be far away, but it's quiet and I can still get to places pretty easy. And if I walk 12-15 minutes, I'm near the water again, which I like. And 12-15 minutes, I get to see another mall. So that area might be in the middle of nowhere and down south, but at least it's convenient if you're already living there. So yeah, that was my adventure today. The reason why I want to quickly finish ending the vlog is I am moving tomorrow. I think I said that already. Yeah, I did. So yeah, that was my adventure today. So this week could be interesting. And I've also decided I'm probably not going to vlog the following week, so I'll release my big Hong Kong update video. Because, yeah, I'm not vlogging next week because I'm going on my trip. I had the day off today, and apparently it is also a holiday. It just worked out that way, which I am not a big fan of because purposely I have weekdays off so it's quieter, not as busy outside. So the plan is I'm just gonna chill here, watch some Kdrama, play some video games, and then or maybe around 4:30 I'll head out to get some food, buy some groceries, that kind of stuff, and then I was gonna explore another district, but because it's a holiday, it's be busy everywhere, so I'm gonna hold off on that. I have plenty of opportunities to explore the districts, not a big deal. So yeah, I'm just gonna chill out. So last week you saw me buy some Miss Fields cookies, right? And I was always confused why there's always a lineup. So basically with Miss Fields in Hong Kong, every day they have a different promo. So the day I went, it was you buy, I think, 6 cookies, you get 3 cookies for free. And then yesterday when I went, or the other day when I went again, it was if you buy a muffin, you get a muffin for free, that kind of deal. But I was always thinking, Miss Field cookies are like good, but they're not that good where people are like lining up for it. I was mistaken. They're actually really good in Hong Kong. I don't know why. So I didn't show me eating the ones I bought last time, but I bought new ones this time. And this time I got this double chocolate fudge chewy mochi cookie. I took a bite of it. It's so good, guys. I can confirm Miss Fields is better in Hong Kong. I love me a chewy cookie. Could you imagine how good this is if it's fresh? And what I like about Miss Fields in Hong Kong is that for every cookie you asked for the pack, they also explain how much time I have to eat it. So she told me with these mochi chewy ones, I should eat it within the first 3 days. If I don't finish it or don't think I'll finish it, put it in the fridge. And then heat it up in the microwave or something, she said. I liked how she gives me instructions for each cookie. That way you have it always the best eating conditions. But yeah, It's so good. I also got the triple chocolate chip cookies normal, and then I got some shortbread cookies, basically it. But this is the one I wanted to show you guys. It's so good. I'm definitely gonna get some more of these. I also got $100 HKD gift certificate to use next time, so more cookies. I'm using a different gimbal setting on my DJI right now, and I don't know if I like it. I've always used like the standard vlogging gimbal setting, but this one says it's more for creative dynamic shots and the gimbal moves at a smoother pace, but something about it looks really like tunneled right now. So I will see how it is. You can see at the beginning of the vlog, I just used a normal setting. It's just near the end of the week, I decided to try this new setting. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to go back to the original setting. I think if I'm shooting anything but myself, I'll use this new setting. But if I'm shooting myself talking or I'm just vlogging myself like this, then I'll probably just use the original setting. Anyway, end of the week. This week is also kind of... My Hong Kong adventures are kind of slowing down because I think I'm just getting into the groove of work now. And then on my days off, I'm resting. So it's kind of like I'm settling in, which is a good thing. At the same time, boring footage. But I promise you it's going to get a lot more exciting very soon. Probably in the middle of November even. I think. Probably. Because I'm going to be moving again. And then once I find a more permanent place, then, you know, things get settled again and, you know, more regular content. So one interesting thing is, one thing I haven't revealed about this service apartment hotel thing is the bathroom. I'm not a big fan of the bathroom. The number one reason is it was designed to look good, but not function very well. I.e., basically, in the shower, the drain is covered by like a tile, but then around the tile are little gap, or as a gap basically, so the water goes down. Like, they're trying to cover the drain. I get it, because they want to make it look good, but at the same time, because all the water is being drained through the little slits around this tile that lifts up, and it's not very, wide, hair gets trapped in it. Normal human beings, we lose hair as we shower. So after 2 or 3 showers, it gets pretty clogged up. And so water gets backed up, and henceforth, if you're not careful, the bathroom floods. So again, great design choice. It looks good, but it's not functional. And then the other issue I've had since day one being in this service apartment, is the toilet itself. Now, I'm not saying I have dynamic poos or anything, but over the last 2 weeks, I stopped flushing toilet paper in general, because after the first week, I went down to the front desk and basically explained, hey, the water pressure is pretty bad in the toilet. And they're like, yeah, 8 other units have complained. We sent a plumber to come and fix it. So I was like, okay, so it's not just me. So they fixed it. And after they fixed it the first time, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to refrain from, flushing too much toilet paper down just to help it. But the reason why no matter what I do, it's still not going to be good is because when you flush a toilet, we all flush the toilet. When you flush a toilet, water comes out, and then suction happens as the pump thing in the toilet itself raises or whatever. The water gets sucked in by pressure. What this toilet lacks is, as soon as you press the flusher, water comes, but there's no pressure or there's no pump thing to make the water go down. So basically, to sum up, when you press the button, water fills. That's it. There's no suction to get the water out of the bowl. It just slowly drains because it has a hole after all, so it just slowly drains. There's nothing sucking it. So because there's no suction, as things like toilet paper, your bodily fluids, your it builds up, because every time you flush with that stuff, the toilet bowl fills and the water slowly drains. But there's no suction to force all that things down the pipe. So eventually it just gets clogged. You can't see it, but it gets clogged at the very end of the toilet. So eventually it causes a clog. So every week so far, I think not just me, but multiple units has to call a plumber for them to fix it. I'm guessing what the plumber's doing. He's just coming in with a plunger and just clearing it. It's just a Band-Aid. So it's nothing to do with people's poos or flushing the toilet. The toilets are all not designed or built properly because there's no suction. And they have to always hire a plumber to come in and take a plunger and fix the pipeway so things can go again. But until they fix the pressure and the suction and actually have pressure and suction, the toilet bowl is not going to do what it's supposed to do. So basically today, because I think the cleaner on Monday didn't clean my toilet at all, so that's why the build up from the last week built it up to this week, and henceforth it's pretty bad today. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna wait for the plumber because it takes a long time. I was like, you know what, it's not difficult. I'm a grown ass man. So I went down to the ground level, and then the security guard's like, what's up? It's like 2 a.m. It's 24-hour, security, and it's really common in Hong Kong to have these security guards. And I wasn't really embarrassed asking. I was just embarrassed that they'll say they'll help me. So I was like, hey guys, the toilet is pretty clogged. Do you have a plunger? And then the security, oh yeah, we do. What's wrong? And I'm like, yeah, it's clogged again. There's no pressure and the toilet sucked. They're like, yeah, we know. And then they're like, oh, we can come over and do it for you. And I'm like, no, you know what? It's okay. Can you just give me the plunger and I'll just do it myself? Because that's embarrassing. It's my bodily fluids. I'd rather be the one to do it. Yes, they're getting paid to take care of us. I get it. But at the end of the day, I don't feel comfortable and I feel guilty having them do it when it's, my reasoning. My stuff, not the reason I broke it, but it's my stuff. So they're like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm positive. And then they're like, oh, should we still call the plumber for tomorrow? But it's Sunday, so you have to wait till Monday. I'm like, guys, don't worry about it. If I take a plunger and just, fix it myself, it'll clear the way, and then it'll last a couple days before I need to borrow a plunger again, or you get the plumber out here. They're like, okay. So I come up here, and I'm like, going through it. First of all, I'm pretty proud of myself. Because the funny thing is, when I lived in my apartment for 6 years, I never had an issue with my toilet. I never once had to use my plunger. So I was like, it's been a long time since I had to use a plunger. Which also proves that clearly it's not my ginormous poops that are clogging the toilets. Because for 6 years I had no issues. My poop has not changed when it came to Hong Kong. It's just that this bloody toilet has no suction or pressure. It just show water and then we'll just let it slowly drain. It's like a sink. That's why it's basically a sink. You turn on the tap and if you fill it with water, it'll just slowly drain. That's what it is. Anyway, so I plunged a few times. I got, the passageway through and then correct flush, easy flushes, and then we're good to go. So we go downstairs. Security guard's like, oh, great, you fixed it. I'm like, I guess, but it's not fixed. And it'll never be fixed because these toilets are not designed to flush. At the end of the day, these toilets were not built to flush. Anyway, rant over. Basically today I didn't go for a long walk, my 10-kilometer long walk for 2 days now, because the day before October 30th, I realized in Hong Kong a lot of people actually celebrate Halloween on the 30th, because at midnight when it becomes 31st, all the parties actually start because it's officially Halloween already. That was kind of new to me because in Canada, Vancouver, even though October 30th and then at midnight is 31st, there's not much lot going on. Maybe the people are having parties on the 30th, but they don't probably start them at midnight. So I heard that from my colleagues that it's going to be pretty rowdy, and I'm like, the area I walk is near kind of the party area, so I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get involved in any Halloween madness, so I was like, I'll skip it on the 30th. And then, of course, on the Halloween day, at night, there's also going to be parties. So I decided to skip those 2 days, to rest my legs. My legs are still, not sore, but they're still, a little bit... I need the rest. But, I was like... Today I was like, oh, maybe I can go for today. But I was like, no, I don't really feel like it. So I decided to take a few days off from walking, but then I'll get probably back on it on the 1st. And it's not because I hate it. It's just, I'm tired. And I actually can't wait to go on my long walk tomorrow. I am not vlogging next week. I'm probably just going to release a different kind of video because next week, halfway at the end, I'm going to Korea. So it's going to be a weird type of vlog if I include Hong Kong and Korea. So I'm just going to do a simple video for next week and then a Korea vlog and then back to regular vlogging. That's probably what's going to happen. But all that's going to happen next week when the Hong Kong stuff next week is I'm probably going to look at more apartments, make a decision on an apartment probably, and then work. I'm working till I leave for Korea. That's probably going to be it. So it's actually not going to be a lot going on. So it is a good idea for me to vlog. So yeah, so I'm going to end the vlog here. I won't see you guys next week. You'll see a different type of video, but the next vlog you'll see technically be my Korea vlog. I'm very excited. Very excited. I'm meeting my mom over there and my sister, so it's going to be a lot of fun this time. But yeah, I'm going to end it here, so I'll see you all in Korea.